the second video of our 7-part series, we'll build your go-to-market process, the foundation that separates revenue rockstars from revenue disasters. We'll get a deep understanding of how a well-designed process is the first step to accelerating revenue, improving customer delight, and your organization efficiency. We'll help you with a bulletproof process blueprint that scales with you from startup to enterprise and helps you deliver the same world-class experience for each prospect every time. Time to turn your go-to-market chaos into cash. So let's get started. So why does process design matter so much? First, and most importantly, it creates a consistent, exceptional customer experience. Here's what I mean. Imagine two customers buy the same product from your company. Customer A has a smooth journey, quick responses, seamless handoffs, clear next steps. Customer B, they fall through the cracks, information gets lost, and they have to repeat themselves. Same product, but totally different experiences. That's a process problem. Second, good processes enable scalability without adding headcount proportionally. You can't scale chaos, but you can scale a well-designed process. I've seen companies double their revenue with only a 30% increase in team size because their processes are that efficient. Third, proper processes reduce onboarding time by 40 to 50%. Instead of a new rep taking 90 days to be productive, they're ramped within 45 days. That's a 50% improvement in revenue production. Multiply that across every new hire. Fourth, processes provide a clear accountability and visibility. When processes are documented, everyone knows their role and know what good looks like. And that's where and where they are in the journey. No more finger pointing or confusion. And finally, processes are the foundation for automation and AI. You cannot automate a broken process. Before you can leverage technology, you need to have a solid process in place. And here's the key. Process isn't about creating bureaucracy. It's about delivering excellence at scale. Now let's talk about how to design a good process, starting with your customer journey mapping. This is the first step to map the end-to-end buyer experience from a customer's perspective. What does customer experience from the moment they first hear about you all the way through renewal and expansion feels like? This typically looks something like awareness, consideration, decision, onboarding, value realization, and then expansion. But here's where most companies go wrong. They design processes around their departments instead of around the customer. Second, identify your critical handoff points. The most dangerous moments in your customer journey are the handoffs. Marketing to sales, sales to customer support. These transitions are where deals and customers fall through the cracks. Each handoff requires a specific documented process as well as a specific documented KPI. What information gets transferred, who's responsible, what happens next. Third, define the success criteria at each stage. What does a qualified lead actually look like? When does a customer truly become onboarded? What does value realization mean for your product? If you don't define these clearly, every person will have a different definition and you'll have chaos. Fourth, remove friction and dead ends. Walk through your customer journey and identify the friction points, long response times, repeated information requests, unclear steps. Each of these kills momentum and costs you deals. Let me give you an example. A company I worked with found that customers were waiting an average 4 days between demo and contract. We redesigned the processes to send the contract immediately after the demo with a personalized video. Sales cycle dropped by almost 12 days. That's the power of removing friction. And finally, align your internal processes to customer needs and not your org chart. Your customer doesn't care about how you're structured as an organization, marketing, sales, CS, different departments, etc. They expect one seamless experience. Now, let's look at how to design your processes accordingly. Now, here's the challenge. Most processes get documented and then ignored. So, how do you build processes that actually stick? First, document your processes in the tools that your teams already use. Don't create a 50-page PDF that lives on SharePoint or Google Drive. Build your processes directly into your CRM workflows. Make it impossible for your team to miss. If a sales rep requires to complete 3 steps before moving an opportunity to the next stage, build that into HubSpot. If a CS manager requires to schedule a business review, automate that reminder. Second, keep it simple. 3 to 5 steps maximum per process. If you do it more, it's bound to be broken. If your process has 15 steps, no one will follow it. Focus on the critical minimum number of activities that drive outcomes. Everything else is noise or can be automated. Third, build in flexibility for deal complexity. An enterprise deal is very different from an SMB deal. You need frameworks, not rigid checklists. Your team needs the structure without handcuffing them. Fourth, create feedback loops for continuous improvement. Schedule quarterly process reviews with your team. What's working, what's not, what's changed in the market. Let your team help improve the process they use every day. And finally, measure adoption and outcomes. Track whether people are following the process, but also track whether the process is driving the result. A perfectly followed process that does not improve win rates or customer retention needs to be changed. Here's an example of a simple sales process. Three clear stages: qualification, evaluation, and closing. Each stage needs defined activities, clear entry and exit criteria, and is built right into the CRM. Simple, clear, and effective. Remember, processes should empower your teams, not constrain them. Here's what I want you to do this week. Action 1: map your customer journey end to end. Get your go to market teams in a room, put the customer journey on a whiteboard, identify each touch point from first interaction to renewal. Action number 2: identify your number one handoff failure point. Where does most deals or customers fall through the cracks in your organization? Is it the handoff from marketing to sales, from sales to customer success, from onboarding to renewal? Find your biggest gap. Action number 3: document one critical process this week. Don't try to fix all of your processes at once. Pick the process that's causing you the most pain today, document it, build it into your systems, and get your team to get started using it. Start small, but start now. In our next video, we are going to dive into systems, the technology that stitches your processes and enables it to run smoothly. I'll show you what systems are critical for GTM teams and how to implement them without creating tool sprawl. You've got processes, now let's talk about technology to execute them. So stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching. And before you go, hit that like button, drop a comment with your biggest pain point with your processes. For help from me and Team Evenbound, I'm Shashank Palli, and this video was brought to you by Evenbound. You can also reach me and Team Evenbound at evenbound.com. Thank you.